Do you have to accept the things the way they are, change or adaptation, and other bits of wisdom? Grandma's porch, a place to relax, a place to enjoy. Come visit Grandma's porch. Should we accept things as they are? And other wisdom topics. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I've decided that I'm going to come on here and make slightly longer videos. Normally my videos are 5 to 10 minutes in length, and they're just separate wisdom topics. And I don't give suggestions, I don't give advice, I just share with you my opinions on things. And so I write down my notes early in the morning is what I do. When I'm laying there in bed, that's my spiritual time. And I always say that the spirit, your soul kind of merges with your conscious at that point. And after waking up, we often forget many of the dreams that we had in the middle of the night. So I try to write everything down, because that seems to be when I get my greatest wisdom insights, is that hour of first waking up. So I don't have any TVs on, any radios on, or any disturbances. And so I take notes. And normally I come on here and I make separate wisdom videos on different topics. But I'm trying to do, instead of putting out 5 videos, I may put out 1, and it just may be a little bit longer. Not too long, but just a little bit longer. And so I have to title the video as something. So likely this will be titled, do we need to accept things as they are, even though it's a combination of more than just that topic. And so how I came up on that particular topic is, last night I was on I was watching someone's video, and they were talking about accepting things as they are. And it really got me to thinking, do we always need to accept things as they are? I think it depends. I think if something is not the way we want and we can change it, I believe that it's important to change it to the best of our ability. And yet, if something is unmovable, unchangeable, then often we have to adapt to those circumstances. You know, there are things that happen in life that we can't change. They are what they are. They're fixed. And in that particular situation, if I truly know that something is fixed, what I do is I learn to adapt. But for me, I don't adapt to things that are not permanent, that I don't want in my life. I may have to adapt temporarily until I can fix it or change it, but I don't live in that adaptation. I don't live in that ditch, so to speak. You know, there are times in life that we get stuck in the ditch. And it's like in the wintertime, if you keep spinning your wheels, you just dig yourself deeper. So you have to know when to hit the pause button. Sometimes we have to hit the pause button in life and pause for the moment and let circumstances around us change, like the ice melting or a tow truck to come help pull us out of that ditch. But to stay in a ditch that we don't have to be in, for me, I won't do that. And sometimes, I'll keep spinning my wheels until I realize that that's not doing me any good. Then I look for other solutions. And sometimes that solution can be that I have to wait for the ice to melt to get out of that ditch. Other times I can call for help and say, hey, can you help pull me out of this ditch? And that will work. And other times I just have to figure out another way. And so we have to know, is it something that is changeable? Is there potential for positive change? And for me, I don't adapt on a long-term basis to things that I can change for the better. I may adapt for the moment, as I said, but I tend not to adapt on a longer term basis any longer than I have to. And I work more on making the changes that I need. Sometimes changes come in the form of refining how we're doing something. Sometimes it comes in discarding certain ways that we do something. Sometimes it comes in doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and it finally, it happens what we want to happen. Sometimes we have to leave a situation. Sometimes we have to go into a situation. There's all kinds of ways to solve problems and get out of the ditch. But staying in the ditch is not where I think most people want to stay. Although some people build their lives in a ditch and they stay there. So I think, first of all, we have to know, is there a way to get out of that ditch? If there is, then for me, I do everything possible to get out of that ditch, whether it's refining, tweaking, changing, asking for help, asking for, information. Often I'll go to other people for the solution, and they will help me to figure it out. There's so many different ways. And so I really got to thinking about that. Sometimes we do have to hit the pause button in life so that we can regroup. Sometimes we just got to keep on doing what it is that we're doing. Sometimes we've got to change things. So for me, I don't try to adapt long-term to a situation that I don't want to be in. I try to change it for the better. But I also have to determine first, is this going to be changeable, or is it going to be one that I have to adapt to long-term? Because there are things in life that we can't change and we have to adapt to. But there are most things I think we can change. But it's going to take work most of the time. This morning when I woke up, for some reason, I don't know why this thought came to me, but I closed my eyes. And when I closed my eyes, it seemed like my hearing intensified. And then when I covered up my ears and opened my eyes, it seemed like my eyesight intensified. And then when I closed both my eyes and my ears, it seemed like I could feel, I was more aware of touch. So it's very interesting. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I thought that was very interesting. What I did this morning is how sometimes when we're overloaded with too much information, too many things, sometimes we can just have sensory overload, in my opinion. And so, when we get sensory overload, often we're not seeing the things that we need to see. So sometimes for me, I pull back in life so I'm not overloaded, so that I can clear my perspective and have great perspective on any kind of issue. Sometimes in life, something dries up. The way we did things before may not work the same, and we have to find new ways of doing things. I remember this one soap opera actress, this one soap opera character. She was a big soap opera character, and I think they actually, I don't know what happened. They didn't renew her contract. And she, all of a sudden overnight, that job that she had been on for many years had dried up. It just dried up. So she had to adjust to that and come up with a new plan for her life. And sometimes that can happen. But I often say, prepare when the sun is shining so that when it's raining, you don't get soaked. And so often people, think the good times are always going to last forever. That perfect job is going to last forever. And it may last for a very long time. But during that time that we have the good stuff, I believe it's always wise to be in preparation stage. And always know, it's even like with real estate. Sometimes real estate will have its boom or its bust. It's just kind of cycles. And so we have to also remember that sometimes things dry up and we have to come up with a new plan. Stepping back in life does not mean stepping out. So if you are stepping back in your life from something, it doesn't necessarily mean you're stepping out of it. Sometimes we have to step back to gain perspective, to get new information, to come up with new solutions or new ideas, to assimilate everything. It's sort of like being in a room and being up front of the room and then moving to the back of the room. In the front of the room, you're seeing things up real close, but in the back of the room, you see things from a different perspective. So sometimes in life, we do, move around in life. Sometimes we're in the forefront, sometimes we step back. I also got to thinking about, I wish I would have appreciated them more. I heard somebody say the other day that they wish they had appreciated their parents more because now their parents are gone. And they really didn't appreciate who their parents were, what their parents did for them, and all the good that their parents brought into their life. And so I truly believe that we have to remember to appreciate people when they are in our lives, and also to appreciate what we have, to appreciate our experiences, to appreciate our job, to appreciate our neighborhood, to appreciate our car, to appreciate the good things in our life when we have them. You can be friends with someone without hanging out with them. Just because I'm friendly or friends with someone doesn't necessarily mean I need to hang out with them. Some people are not really all that great to hang out with, even though we like them. Everybody has their focuses and disappointments in life. Everybody gets disappointments in life somewhere along the line. And it's just a matter of life. We don't want disappointments. We hope we don't get disappointments. We don't like disappointments. And yet disappointments can happen in our lives. And so sometimes we have to just brush ourselves off and get back out there. But everybody has had them. So we don't like it when we're disappointed, but we do need to remember that everybody has experienced them at one point or the other in life. And my last topic was really called concentrated focus. Sometimes in life we have to focus. We have to give something more focus, or an area of something more focus than we do other areas. And so there are times that I'm tweaking my life. There are times that I have to shift my focus. Like today, I have a new module opening up in one of my college classes. Well, as you all know, I'm 63 years old and I go to college full time. And so I have to give that focus today rather than on some of the other things that I do. So there are times that we have to narrow in our focus. We have to have concentrated focus. So back to the original topic of do we have to always accept things as they are? I think that it just depends. I think it depends on what it is. But I think that sometimes when we are disappointed or we don't like things the way they are, it's just a cue for us to positively change them in some way. And yet, before we can make that change, we do have to determine, is that a fixed situation? Is that an immobile situation, one that's not going to move or is not going to change? And then sometimes we have to adapt to that aspect of life. But other times we can change a situation by changing our ideas, our behaviors, our choices, our actions, and doing the work to make those changes happen. So I think it's just really, really important to know the difference. Is it something that we can change, or is it something that we cannot change? Adaptation, in my opinion, is reserved for things that we cannot change, or that we have to kind of deal with on a longer term situation. Whereas if we apply adaptation to a situation that we're unhappy in, but we can make positive changes, I think we're defeating ourselves, because for me, I would rather work on positive change than adaptation. And yet, if I can't make a positive change, then perhaps I'll work on the adaptation. So I think it's important to know the difference. And most situations, I think if we apply positive strategies, likely we can change it for the better. From my house to yours, I hope you're having a wonderful day. May God bless you. And it's a little overcast, but after I go on one of my live lesson college classes, I'm going for a run, and then I'm going to start all of my college work. And it's a nice kind of overcast day, a little foggy, but it's beautiful to me. So wishing you all a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell all of your friends about my channel. And I hope to talk to you all soon again. Bye-bye. Grandma's porch, a place to relax.